Hello. By now, I'm sure you've all have seen this video, and I just wanted to shed some light on that video, on what is going on. I wanted to explain my side of this situation. What you watched was an edited version, obviously, of my blindfolded speed run that was on Twitch. Now, what you may not know is that speed run was purposely fake. It was purposely fake. The video is 100% correct by saying that it is clearly obvious that it is not a real blindfolded run. Yes, that is 100% accurate. It is not a real blindfolded run. It never was. It never was. Prior to doing this stream, I decided to do this run as a way to joke around and have fun with my community. At the time, there was only about 20 people watching my stream, and I do not have a very large community myself. This run was never meant to be submitted. It was never meant to be legitimate, and a lot of the things in the run that are telltale signs point to that. One of the major things is you can clearly see that a lot of the run is just not at all similar to other blindfolded speedruns. I've watched blindfolded speedruns, and they're very impressive. They're very impressive. And I never once wanted to take away anything from those individuals that do those runs. I have the utmost respect for them. Those runs are very impressive. At this point, I've never legitimately tried to do anything like that. I myself am a speedrunner, but I have no legitimate interest in going that route with my speed runs. I'm just content doing what I normally do. I've been doing this a very long time. Not as long as some of the bigger names, but I have been doing this for a number of years. And again, I wanted to emphasize that this is not real. It was never meant to be real. It was never submitted. It was never submitted. It was never going to be submitted. I never had the intention of taking anyone's spot on the leaderboard. And I knew that this would never be verified, even if submitting it was part of the plan, but it never was, because it would never get past the verification process. And one of the main reasons is that it's painfully obvious that this isn't real. To the point to where I had a TTS on, the automated service that will read comments aloud when people send bits and make a comment attached to those bits. Now, this is not allowed in blindfolded speedruns. That right there is a huge red flag. And that should, if you've read the rules on blindfolded speedruns, you should know that, obviously this would never make it past the verification process. So, that's one of those things that I had in there specifically because I knew it wasn't part of it wasn't legitimate in the rules to do that. And that's one of the, I guess, ways to point out within the run while still keeping it straight during the run and playing up the joke that this alludes to it not being real. There's a lot of things that I did in the run to make it seem very obvious that this is not real. And the people in my community that I've expressed this to, they understand. They understand. And I want to express this to you guys here on YouTube and let you know, what I think of it all and, what my side of it all is. I know the video paints me in a very specific light, and I'm not a bad person. I'm not like a mean-spirited person. I'm not a spiteful person. And I don't do things maliciously. It's not who I am. This was just good fun. This was just jokes. My downfall here, though, is that I didn't express explicitly in that stream that it was jokes. I tried to keep it straight the entire time. I stumbled within the stream, but I kept it straight for the majority and did not allude to it vocally that it was not a real thing. That is to my discredit. That is my downfall on this, really, where I didn't specify. And obviously, I couldn't have known. I couldn't have known that it would turn into this. I never would have imagined that it would turn into this. And I'm not telling you now because of the exposure. I've mentioned this before. And the people who watch me know and understand that I like to goof around, that I like to make jokes, and that I'm not like a malicious person. So I just want to express that to you guys who may not know, who may not be fans of my streams, may not be fans of my speedruns, may not know me personally, or, conversate with me at all. People who have come to my streams talking about this, I've invited them to talk to me. I've invited them to have conversations, and some of them hold fast to their opinion based on the video, and that's okay. That's okay. And others have understood where I'm coming from, and while some of them might say, "Ah, man, that's still rough," but you're being honest about it, and I can respect that. And some of them have stuck around, and that's awesome. That's awesome. But again, I never thought when I did this that it would end up turning out like this. That it would end up being the topic of a YouTube video that would expose me as a fake speedrunner. In this one instance, yeah, that blindfold run was not real. It is painfully obvious that it is not real. I knew it. The people who made the video knew it. And my audience knows it. It was never supposed to be anything more than just entertainment. Than just having fun entertainment. It's never supposed to be legit. It was never supposed to be real. It never was real. Now, going forward, though, obviously, I didn't realize that some people in the speedrun community would take offense to this. I didn't realize at the time that this would be something that other people could look at and think to themselves, that's not okay. That's not okay. That's like really not okay. I didn't expect people to be so offended by something that's just a goof. I hate that. I hate that. It makes me seem foolish for not thinking that. Not thinking that far ahead in that way. But again, being small scale like I am, I didn't think about it in that broad scope. I don't think anybody who is anybody would ever see anything that I do. I'm not a big name. I wouldn't even consider myself like a medium-sized creator or streamer, especially when I was on Twitch. I am very low on Twitch, very, very low. And I was on Twitch just briefly. So in my mind, none of that ever occurred to me. I didn't think it would ever be something like this. So I'm addressing this here and now by saying, yeah, it was not real. I'm sorry if you were a member of my community and you watched that and you felt misled. I'm sorry. That's not what my intentions was to make you feel bad or to offend you in some way. No, it's just for fun. It's all just for fun. Streaming is just entertainment, and my community knows that I do a variety of different things just to broaden the entertainment scope. It's not always super straight-laced. I don't want any of the blindfolded speedrunners who actually have spots on the leaderboard, or people who may yet to get on the leaderboard that have been practicing and grinding it out, to think that I'm trying to like punch down at them in any sort of way. No, not at all. I have, like I said before, a lot of respect for those guys because they're doing something that I don't personally think that I can do, or that I don't have any practice in. That's not the field of interest for me when it comes to speedrunning. I just enjoy regular speedruns. The commitment to doing something like Blindfolded, where you completely lost of one sensation, but still doing something that would normally require you to have sight. Um, that's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing, and I've seen these runs, and they're awesome. They're awesome, and they definitely take a lot of patience, a lot of practice, and a lot of effort. A lot of effort. That's a much higher echelon than regular speedrunning, I would say. I should have just been transparent about it, but I wasn't, and I own that. But again, you know, I'm sorry if you were offended. I'm sorry if you're one of those speedrunners who felt like I was punching down at you. Definitely was not my intention.